Patriots is Ernie Adams, and Bob Ryan of the Boston Globe is with us now. And Bob, just give me whatever you got on this. He's not human, right? He's some combination of robot and mystic.
We know that he exists. He has been spotted. He gives no interviews. He is Belichick's Belichick. And this has been going on from the very beginning. These two were friends from prep school days in Andover Academy, and Belichick has him on the payroll. And I don't know what he does, and I don't think anyone actually knows what he does, but we know that Belichick is very reliant on his judgment and information.
Should we, if we're forward-thinking football people, hire him away from Belichick to run our team, even though we know nothing about him? Like, no interview. It's like the Greg Williams situation. You don't even have to interview. You're so good. You're just the coach. You don't do press conference. You just be this mystical mist around our franchise, please. So much better than Charlie Weiss and Romeo Crennel.
It's worked well here for 18 years, except that it wouldn't happen. Obviously, he is tethered to Bill, and it's just not. It's just a theoretical. To answer your question, yeah, in theory, if you thought you could get him, he must know something, like Old Man River. He must know something.
Are there any billionaires that you can think of that own football teams who might have the money to do that, or no? There are no bullet.
He may not. I know this is a foolish statement. It's conceivable the man may not be motivated by money. I don't know how much it would take. I don't know where his price, what his price is. Fact is, though, this is a wonderful, juicy part of the Belichick legacy. And why he's, the fictional aspect of it, I mean, if you will, that this is part of the deal, that the greatest, like Barack mentioned, the greatest NFL coach of all time has a confidant, a guru, that he relies on. And that doesn't that spice up the plot a lot? I mean, it's very enticing.
That's why we're calling you, Bob. But what does he do?
Right. I don't know.
That's the other thing we were calling you about.
No one knows.
Wait, Bob, listen to me. You have been a great sports journalist in that town for a long time. There has been no greater legend, maybe Will McDonough in the conversation, in the history of that sports town's media. That dynasty is unprecedented and a bit of a mystery. How the hell do you not know anything about this person who's the coach to the coach?
That's why it's such a fascinating story. If the Will McDonough, and Will McDonough passed in '93, so maybe in time he would have unearthed the it, but he didn't. And go to the football guys. I was never the football guru. My reputation, quote unquote, was based more on basketball and baseball than football. But I'm telling you, I don't think anyone knows for sure exactly what it is that Ernie Adams does. And I don't even know how many of the regulars even recognize him. I don't know exactly. He has been seen, but not too often.
Bob, who deserves the most amount of credit for this dynasty? Is it Belichick, Brady, or Ernie Adams?
Well, I put Ernie third, but
Really?
just because I'm sure.
Because you don't know anything, Bob. That's why. Because you come on here and you don't know anything about the guy, so you put him third, and you're like a Hall of Fame voter.
I gave you a name and that you didn't have, and I couldn't let this. I couldn't let it hang out there that we didn't know who he was. We know the name. That's about all, but we do know the name. We have attached the name to it. It's Ernie Adams. Don't get started in the Hall of Fame. That's a wonderful, part of question. Who's more important, Brady or Belichick? Ultimately, most times you say the player guaranteed, but the Belichick legacy and record is so spectacular that, and you can always point to that year without Brady when the only reason they didn't make the playoffs was a technicality. They were 11-5. The Dolphins got in on technicality, which on a tiebreaker, I should say. Anyway, that will be debated in perpetuity. Who's more important, Brady or Belichick?
Bob, it's Billy. If nobody knows what he does, why doesn't someone just ask?
Oh, you think they have?
Like a journalist.
No. You think they have it? You think that isn't the greatest unanswered question in Boston sports? Maybe the greatest unanswered question in my 50 years of hanging around and being around and studying and observing and following and rooting and everything at the end thing, that this is the most amazing question. This whole mystery man, this aspect that Ernie Adams, but it's clear that Belichick wants him, and relies on, I'll put it that way, has come to rely on whatever it is that Ernie Adams is doing.
Excellent, Bob. Always informative.